Despite being almost universally loved all over the world, Drake has been involved in some of the most notorious feuds in rap history. And today, we're going to go over 5 of his biggest, most important career-defining beefs. In July 2015, this single tweet took over the internet. Frustrated over the lack of support from other rappers for his own album, Meek Mill took to X and accused Drake of not writing his own raps on their song Rico. If you know anything about the rap game, you know that next to being a fraud and a wannabe gangster, using a ghostwriter is one of the most serious accusations you could throw at a rapper. At first, Drake would respond with a subtle diss in the song Charged Up.
No woman ever had me starstruck or was able to tell me to get my bars up.
The diss went over a lot of people's heads, and he was being called out for either not being able to or not wanting to respond to Meek Mill. But then 4 days later, Drake released the song back to back, and after using 2 of rap's most repeated one-liners,
yeah, trigger fingers turn to Twitter fingers,
as well as,
is that a world tour or your girl's tour?
He'd end up putting Meek Mill's career on life support. Eventually, tempers would cool down, and in a gesture of goodwill, Drake would invite Meek Mill on stage while performing in Boston's TD Garden, putting an end to their feud once and for all. In 2006, the beginning of a war started to brew between a rap group with the potential to be a powerhouse and an underground rapper who was about to hit the mainstream and take over. Lil Wayne and the rap group Clips started sending jabs through their music and comments through the media over the Babe clothing line. In 2012, Clips member Pusha T would pull Drake into the battle with his song Exodus 23:1.
Contract all fucked up. I guess that means you all fucked up. You signed to one, then signed to another, then signed to 3. Now that's bad luck.
And with that, Drake and Pusha T had a back and forth beef that ended with one of the biggest chess moves seen in rap. Even though jabs were being sent to each other over a few songs, the beef between them became really heated when Pusha also said that Drake used ghostwriters on his track Infrared.
The bigger question is how the Russians did it. It was written like Nas, but it came from Quentin.
With Quentin Miller being Drake's rumored ghostwriter. Drake would respond with Duppy freestyle.
So if you rebuke me for working with someone else on a couple of V's, what do you really think it is that's making your beats?
Which would pull Kanye West into the mix. We're gonna get to Kanye West a little bit later in the video. Pusha T would take things to a personal level when he pulled out his ace card and released the story of Adidon, where he'd exposed that Drake had been hiding a son from the public.
You are hiding a child, let that boy come home.
And used a picture of Drake covered in blackface as the artwork for the track. After this Tyson-level right hook, Drake, not wanting to sink things to an even lower level than it'd already gone, had no choice but to admit defeat and move on.
There's not really much I can say better than Drake has a baby. He won. You know, he won off that. The information was too shocking. On his part, it was a genius chess move. You know, again, a fan.
It doesn't matter how much money, success, or women come your way. At the end of the day, men will be men. But in this case, men will act like kids. In June 2012, Drake, Chris Brown, and both of their entourages would end up getting into a massive brawl at the WIP nightclub in New York City.
There was a massive brawl last night at a nightclub in New York. Chris Brown's entourage and Drake's entourage went crazy on each other
over rumors that Drake was dating Chris Brown's ex Rihanna. While neither took too many shots at each other through their music, this was a rare occurrence of a recent rap beef turning physical, with innocent bystanders being caught in the middle. Over the years, cooler heads would prevail when in 2018, Drake once again showed his maturity and invited Chris Brown on stage during a concert in LA.
I'd like to share the stage with this man in LA. I hope you motherfucking enjoy it. Let's go.
The two would go on to release the hit single No Guidance in 2019, which ended up being one of the biggest hits of the year. Years later, when talking about the beef, Drake would explain,
I think we were always kind of forcing it. I think there was always like resentment on both sides. You know, really at the end of the day, you know, again, when you kind of step away from it and break it down, you start to feel silly because it's like over like girl stuff, you know? But obviously that can snowball into like real shit.
And Chris Brown would go on to say,
I'm a little bit more cunning about mine. And at the same time, just like, you know what, I'm gonna chill. I don't even welcome, I don't really have no beef or no issue with nobody. That won't even between me and him, to be real. We won't nowhere near each other. It was just a whole bunch of extra commotion on God.
Back in 2016, Drake would drop his 4th album, Views, his biggest album to date, which was universally loved and ended up getting nominated for 2 Grammys. But a rapper turned podcaster / rap critic either had some major problems with the album or some personal problems with Drake. After the album dropped, Joe Budden took to his podcast and claimed Drake had not shown any growth as an artist and views felt uninspired.
I think that kid on that album that I heard sounds real fucking uninspired. That music sounds good and I enjoy it. 40, you sound amazing. 40 continues to progress. Drake, you do not.
After the criticism, Drake released 4 p.m. in Calabasas that Budden interpreted as a shot at him.
All of a sudden I got people showing how much they truly resent me. They hold a meaning to spells envy.
Drake would continue to poke and prod at Budden with the occasional jab on his songs. And even though it seemed like the two had settled their beef when they both showed up on an Instagram live together, Drake, after that, made fun of Budden's song Pump It Up after he shared a video of people dancing to it. Things got heated again in 2023 when Drake released his album For All the Dogs, and Joe Budden would criticize it by saying,
This is like Yachty rapping. He rapping for the children. Yo, dog, I had to look up how old this was when I finished listening to the album.
Drake would respond the very same day with the following Instagram comment. Joe Budden, you have failed at music. You left it behind to do what you're doing in this clip because this is what actually pays your bills. For any artist watching this, just remember, you're watching a failure give their opinion on his idea of a recipe for success. A quitter give their opinion on how to achieve longevity. You switched careers because the things that pop into your brain had you broke living check to check, and the rap you write had 450 men showing up to your shows in dusty NC jeans to screw up their face to Mute Music 29 and pretend you are the GOAT. Please, to any artist that's doing what they feel is right, don't let these opinions affect your mindset after the fact. This guy is the poster child of frustration and surrendering. You retired and we never hung up your jersey. We don't even remember your number. We know you for doing this. You withdrew from rap not because you accomplished all you need to. It's because it wasn't working for you. I never want anybody in the generations to think that the whole everybody's entitled to their opinion is a real thing. This is a man projecting his own self-hate and the fact that I did and continue to do everything he wanted to do for himself. If you need to put it in simpler terms, I own a 767. He owns a modest house in a 973 and flies first class on special occasions. But none of these issues or the aforementioned beefs even compare with the biggest rapper on this list. In one of the most multi-layered beefs in rap, with a strange mix of mutual respect, hatred, and even pettiness between them that includes not just professional competition, but personal issues, Kanye West and Drake have been feuding for years now. Kanye himself has a long list of issues with other rappers, celebrities, politicians, and even friends, including his own mentor Jay-Z.
Jay-Z called me. Hey, bro, Jay-Z, I know you got killers. Please don't send them out my head. Just call me. Talk to me like a man.
So him and Drake feuding should come as no surprise to anybody. Even though they were once friends and collaborators, things changed in 2018 after Pusha T released the previously mentioned Infrared, which was produced by Kanye.
The first album drops, and of course there's a diss song towards me that you produced that's talking about writing. I was just there with you as friends, helping you, and now you're dissing me. So I'm like, man, this is dark.
Drake responded on the same Pusha T response, Duppy Freestyle, where he dissed Kanye's work, talk about his own influence, and undermines Kanye's role as a mentor. Kanye would, in turn, take things to social media by calling out Drake on different issues ranging from music releases to personal issues. The relationship between these two is up and down at best. Sometimes it seems like they squashed their beef, only to go right back to beefing again.
Linking with the ops, bitch, I did that shit for Jay Prince. Bitch, I did it for the Maltese.